This
And
conference will now be recorded.
I know I've met you at least
Okay.
once.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
we got like friendship time.
Okay, that's good to know. All right. Okay, so Angie, our little thing is being recorded right now. I'm gonna do my little intro spiel. I don't know if Shirley gave you the rundown. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to EPT Live. I'm Paige Cargioli by Business's Open Heart Holistic Therapy, and I am an EPT practitioner. EPT stands for Emotional Polarity Technique, and it's a totally different approach in emotional health care. Instead of relying on traditional talk therapy or medication, EPT relies on the science of forgiveness so you can live a happier life. And it works for both kids and adults. And today we are working with Angie. Hi, Angie.
Hello.
And Angie, is it okay if we have this recorded today and we share it possibly all over the internet?
Yeah, that's hopefully not an embarrassing degree.
There's a lot of them, so it'll be buried. Don't worry. All right. So Angie, you are Shirley's daughter. Yeah, okay. And Shirley's an EPT practitioner as well. So you've had EPT before?
Yes.
All right. And do you have your magnets, etc.? I saw Shirley in the background there, so
Yeah.
she's getting your tools for you.
Let's turn my phone on.
Yeah.
Oh, my volume anyways. There we go.
All right. Yeah, Shirley has been providing every family member for these.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Willingness, blatant need.
Oh, okay. We all need it. It's forgiveness. We all need it. All right. So, so what is it that you would like to focus on for our little appointment?
Yeah, that gives me anxiety sometimes trying to figure that out because sometimes it sounds like so many things, but maybe something along the lines, because I was just starting to talk to Mom about it before everything popped up, and something with like, I have a really hard time with unfairness. And that, I mean, that's super broad, but it seems like unfairness really makes me upset, and yeah.
Okay.
So maybe something like that. I don't know how to word it besides the word.
What would be an example of something that was unfair that upset you?
Favoritism for people that I love. I'm really upset for people that I love, and also unfair is I'm going through this court stuff with my ex, because the kids are trying to figure out, keeps going for like,
so wait, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
So let me tell you what I got. So favoritism, and then you said there's apparently a court thing happening with your ex. Is it like a custody and it just keeps going and it doesn't?
No, it's not custody anymore.
Oh, okay.
The children are now, and he is in arrears, so I need to go through court to try to get that paid, and there's a lot to it, and it seems like it just keeps getting dropped, and feels unfair because he owes money, so he keeps dragging it out and cuts him, and it keeps costing more and more and more time.
And that,
but it's the I understand that that's just the way, but yeah, it's unfair. And I know. So.
Okay. All right, I'm getting bits and pieces. So. All right, so it's he owes money, and you guys constantly have to battle it out in court, and it's dragged. Oh no!
Trying to even get to court. Even. I'm not saying that option that would work better for.
Hey, Angie. So I know the camera seems to have just turned off. I don't know if you're working on a computer, yeah, if you turn off anything, if you close everything except for the video chat, that sometimes helps.
With it.
Oh my goodness. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, the video's coming back.
See to me. I just can't see you.
It's super spotty. So I'm getting as much as I can, but I think we've got enough to work with.
Okay.
And are you okay? You can hear me okay?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. It's like it's super spotty, but I think we've got enough to work on. All right. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, and if you have your magnets with you, you have the blue side.
Yep.
Is it blue or green? Some magnets are blue, some are green.
Green, red.
The green
So
side
green.
goes on your head like this. So green, like that.
I don't have any camera. Each side of my head? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, Shirley's there, thank you. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then keeps popping in and out. This is very exciting. And then we'll do 3 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. I can see your video, and I see Shirley pointing to you.
Just window.
Shirley can just do it.
No. Okay.
All right. All right. So you can take them. You can. Yeah. There you go. I'll just wait.
Okay.
We can't see you, but you can see us?
I can see you.
Okay, I don't know why I can't see you.
Maybe we don't need to see you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So just think about things being unfair. Okay. Distress for that is a 10. Elation is a 0, which kind of surprises me. I would think maybe you could benefit from something being unfair, but you're like, no, it has to be fair. It's better that way.
Because I don't consider myself fair. If I said something is fair, how much benefit me?
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. So stage of healing and testing is bargain. So bargain is, which I guess makes sense with unfairness, because you're trying to make something fair, and you think if I make it fair, that will make me feel happier. But really, you want to be happy regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. let's see. Oh, and for anyone who's watching, I know my mom explains, but the magnets are for balancing right and left brain, but also we do some magnet work once we get to the emotions. And it's kind of like a little acupuncture adjustment, but with magnets instead of needles. And I'm muscle testing on this side with my hand for you. So, all right. All right, letting go is weak. So you're able to show up, you're able to pay attention, tell the truth, but letting go is weak. One issue, well, we'll see. Okay. Okay, self. Okay, and liver, anger. So I feel my, huh?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, anger.
Yeah, okay. I feel my anger.
Side of the family.
Okay.
Because they treat him unfair.
Okay, so, well, for the current situation, I think what you brought up, I feel angry with, yeah, with your ex. What's his name?
Tad.
Chad?
T.
Oh, T.
A-D.
Okay, that's what I actually heard. That's what I wrote down. But then I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
it's a little more common than it used to be, but
Okay. So I feel my anger with Tad because he's not paying. He just won't pay. He just won't do it. Is that why?
that's a short version. But I think he's never been fair to me. He's always to call me his pawn.
He takes more than he gives.
And he's a liar.
Well, that one too.
It makes it sound like I'm just bashing him.
No.
I thought he changed and that he was gonna be a better person, and now he's like almost worse than ever. He faked me out. And it's just not fair that he always gets away with being and doing.
Oh. So, okay, there are a couple things. Let's see.
Probably pretty cool.
So yeah,
so much
and like you said, there's no consequences for him.
Not really.
Okay.
And yeah, it's true.
Or you feel like there's no consequences for him. Like no matter what he does, if he lies, if he steals, it doesn't matter. He still gets away with it. And there's no consequence, supposedly.
He always get away with it. Yeah. He's always get away with the same tactics that he's always used for the whole life that we were together. We were together for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and now we're together.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel that.
And that's the unfairness is. That's the unfairness. It's like other people don't get away with this. Why does he get away with it? Okay. Yeah, or yeah, he does. Okay.
I think they're do it for me that it's not just that comes out and me. I see just I don't know how to. Okay.
Say that again.
Pattern with like everybody that I look at and I love. So I suppose I'm angry for my children, and with other things that are unfair, the way my husband is treated by his family. Those things are angry. Looking at, I can't control. It's a control thing, I'm sure too, because there's nothing I can do about it. I'm do something.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm getting
Paige?
about huh?
I wonder if she just turned her camera off and left her microphone on, if that would
Can
help.
try.
That would be awesome, because it's really
Yeah,
hard to hear.
Yeah, I'm literally
Weird.
getting like
Yeah.
2 words out of a sentence. Which is like, oh,
Anyways,
mm-mm.
is it better something and
Yeah,
Come back in. I'm gonna try.
yeah, you can try that. Try going out and coming back in.
I'm wondering if she just came in on the phone line.
Yeah, I can't, I mean, I am,
It's pretty bad. I can't.
it's a stretch. I think
Yeah.
everybody's using their internet right now.
You know what's awesome though? It's like it's like we're right there.
Mm-hmm.
We're right where we need to be. And but we're gonna have to hear her, she's gonna have to hear us, so we gotta get that straightened out.
I mean, yeah, if she called on a phone, it would definitely be better. The phone would be clearer.
I think there's a phone line she could call on too.
Mm-hmm. Let me look and I'll put it in the chat. Or can somebody text Shirley?
I can't.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you have this issue so great.
I can do it.
It's so framed up really nicely.
I know.
It's like I'm ready to go, but I don't want. It's going to be crazy because you're going to roll forward with this so quickly, and if you can't hear her,
I know it's mostly the difficulty is. I think I'd be like 5 or 10 minutes ahead if it wasn't for the sound.
yeah.
Oh, I have the phone number here.
Perfect.
I think I have it.
Because you found your thing, you just have to fix it and then do the forgiveness, and we're good.
Well,
and then see
I
if
gotta get my original event, but it should.
I got it, Paige.
Okay, thank you.
It's already in there.
Perfect.
Yeah, they might even be having trouble getting back in just because it's so slow, but maybe they're doing a restart.
Well, and I mean, if she calls, she'd be right here.
Yeah, there should be no issues with a phone call.
I know. I don't know what. I know that we've had some difficulties with that with Shirley, but it always seems to iron itself out. This is the worst it's been.
I know. I'm thinking there are other people using the internet or something.
I don't know. But we have had one of ours that we did like this, and we just had the lady call on her phone, and it was like heaven. It was because we just quit fighting with the internet and said, do the phone, we'll stay online, you call in.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Linda can text her and tell her, just come in on the phone.
Oh, there's Shirley. I have questions for Shirley.
Oh, she's connected to audio. I wonder if she's here. She's not.
Hello, is anybody there?
Shirley. I see that it's connected to audio. It's not muted. I don't know why she can't talk. Can you talk, Shirley? Oh, here it comes again.
Okay. Okay.
Is this on, are we online or are you on the phone? Where are you at? Like,
Just
are you-
wait. You just gotta wait, Mom.
Okay.
Let's see. So,
We're back. Are you back?
ooh, I can hear you, Shirley.
Woo!
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Now I can't hear you. Hello? Hello? Is that Angie? Angie?
Try it here too. This
Are
might
you
be
on the-
expired. No, it hasn't.
Oh, now I hear Shirley.
Wednesday. All right. When
Are you on the phone or are you on your computer?
it goes.
Can you hear?
It's still pretty spotty.
She on phone or computer?
online or are you on the phone?
I'm good. We're gonna shut
You just gotta wait, Mom.
that off. I'm gonna get off the phone so it doesn't confuse it.
She sounds great on the phone.
Yeah, you do sound good on the phone. Hello?
Mom on the phone.
This video is going to be a lot of me looking confused.
You on the phone? Can you hear me on the phone?
Yep, I can hear you on the phone. I think I can hear you on the phone.
Can you hear us on the phone? We could switch and just have Angie be on the phone and then we'd have the sound.
A little bit comical, but it could be frustrating.
Yeah. Okay, I can see Angie, but I cannot hear.
The sound is awful.
Here's me.
Did you guys restart the computer?
I swear it's
Shirley's coming in loud and clear. I don't know if she can hear us.
She is?
I hear Shirley.
I don't.
Because I think something on two different beside each other. There's devices or something. Oh, good night. Oh, Claire, is this like real? Oh, Claire, are you like real time seeing me yet? Are you? Yeah. No.
Did you guys see there's just a phone number you can call?
This has to be so.
It's in the chat box.
I mean, with most technology, it's just a matter of having a lot of patience.
Can they just phone in? Does Angie have a phone? She could just call
Are
in.
you right now?
Huh? Do you have
If
a phone?
Angie
Okay, I
picks up her
think
iPhone and
that-
calls in.
Do you have a phone? Here's the number.
Actually, Sarah Often. It's actually,
Perfect.
when you,
Do you have the number? It's in the chat. You want me to give it
I
to
can
you?
see you.
Okay. You want me to give you the number?
I also text it to Shirley's phone.
All right, I'm, yeah. Mic's on.
It's
Not the
just
computer, the
there's
meter.
there's an extreme lag. Oh dear, LOL. That's what Whitney.
Need to be on the side of things. And can you hear me like this?
Yeah, are you
Can
on
you hear
there?
me?
Yes, I hear you perfect.
I there honestly think that like a delay. They're still hearing what we're saying. The thing should be good.
All right, maybe it's my computer now, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty bad here on my computer in Indiana too.
Oh, wait.
I
Hello?
see you fine, Paige.
Hello.
Yay!
So you gotta get off the video.
Yeah, just get off
Okay,
the
get off the
video
video.
and go on in the phone.
My video on the phone.
Woohoo!
I can hear you perfectly. Woo! It's like do-do-do.
Yeah, it's because your computer and your phone are so close. There you go. Are you there
Right.
now? Perfect.
Yep, I am here now. Oh my
I'm
stars,
so
I am so
happy to be able to
sorry.
hear you. Okay. All right. So here we go. So my anger with my ex Tad, because there are no consequences. He's a liar. He basically has been stealing and not. I mean, it's like nothing. It just isn't working. Right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going back to the original time. So we went way back for this, and it is you in utero. Okay.
I have a lot of that happen
Really?
with my EPT. Yes, a lot.
Okay.
A lot of my sessions end up in utero.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've got I am in utero. And I felt mom's anger with um um okay. What's coming up is your mom's anger. So Shirley's anger with her mom.
Okay.
Do you know why? Or does Shirley know why?
I could make a guess
Okay.
that probably lots of things, but
If we're thinking on the like favoritism being unfair, was like Shirley not the favorite? She was the favorite.
if I was
Or
reading into it, I don't think there was a favorite, but
okay.
but so to read into it was unfair that my mom is getting things that she wishes she had, maybe type thing.
But it's your mom. It's your mom's anger with your grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah.
Try injustice.
Oh, okay. Oh, so there's no.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Hey, unfair injustice. Okay. So that works. Yeah. So was there something?
Myself.
Well, so while Angie was in utero, I felt angry with my mom. I felt my mom's anger with my grandma when I'm in utero because because there's no justice.
Okay.
Like, is it that Shirley felt like your mom owed you something, or that there were no consequences for your mom?
I will definitely have to let Mom answer for this because I was in utero.
Luckily,
And
she's
honestly, I can try to speculate from like a lifetime of trying to figure some things out, but let's let Mom
I
answer
mean,
that.
and since she's there, I'm just curious, but I probably would
Right.
just be like, there was something unfair.
Well, yeah, it's an overall, because even for me
Like,
back then,
while I
there was a lot of
in there.
injustice. Well, we dealt with, I know what it is because we just dealt with it in class a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
It was just,
Mhm.
it's just an overall feeling of things just aren't fair to me, injustice towards me. And I'm kind of, she's picking up the same energy I would have felt at the time, that there's injustice everywhere, and nothing that I can do. It's always, it's always goes against me.
Okay. Always. Okay. Okay. Well, that seems simple enough. We'll keep it simple. So it's always unfair with me. The injustice is always towards me. Okay. All right. Okay. So.
Right. But so
Green.
here's a thought that,
Sure.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Well,
you're
I was
good.
just thinking about how, like, some of the other things that I found out from while I was in utero is like that I was supposed to be everybody's protector, that
Mhm.
I was being born and I was
Are you
supposed
the
to take care
oldest,
of
or what
everybody.
number?
No, I'm
Okay.
number two,
Okay.
actually. I had an older
Okay.
brother, and I formed like this really strong bond to take care of him, and that I had to take care of my mom, and that was like my purpose in life, was to make it better for people. And I
That's
can
not
never do
fair.
it because it's not fair even for me to have to, and it's not fair that I can't fulfill what it feels like I'm supposed to exist for.
Yeah. How old was Shirley when, or how old was your mom when she had you?
19.
Okay. So she was just, okay. Mom was 19. Because I'm also just thinking, like, let's give ourselves a little grace here for the 19-year-old. And how old was
Oh,
her
absolutely.
mom?
How old was grandma?
She must have been
35 or so.
35.
Somewhere
That's,
between
so she was even young. So you're talking a young
Or
grandma and
grandma.
a young, you're talking a young,
Mom.
mom and a
Yeah.
young grandma. Like,
Yeah.
duking
I was
it out,
second child, so.
talking about how unfair everything is. Like, okay. Sorry, and I get the sense in this situation, it just feels very young to me. Like like we kind of laugh at teenagers when they talk about things not being fair, where it's like, well,
Exactly.
That's not really what life is about. It's fairness.
Right. Right. It isn't.
So, like that's kind of it just feels young. It just feels young, a little immature in a certain sense, and we want to bring a little bit more maturity to,
Right.
to the thoughts.
You're picking up on some energy that I'm not going to go into explaining it all because it's not beneficial right now. But you're picking up, when you say young, it's an energy that you're picking up that you're right on target. So
okay, thank you. Thanks, Shirley. Okay,
You're welcome.
all right. So we're gonna do green on the liver and green on your forehead. So liver is right below, right at your rib cage on your right side.
Green, blue. Okay. What was that? Liver and what?
Yeah, liver and
Mom,
forehead.
put it on for a second.
sorry,
Green,
she's got some blue magnets, so
Oh, blue. Sorry. I can
switch them out on me.
I can adjust blue.
Okay.
Blue and blue.
Oh, now I'm back to green. She's got green and blue.
Or
Where's
green
my
or
red?
liver? Here?
Liver's here.
Here? And then where's the
Right
other?
side.
And forehead is what color?
Yep. Green, blue.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. I am magnetized.
Okay, breathe in. Think about it's your mom's anger with your grandma when you're in utero because it's always unfair. Breathe. Yeah. Breathe in. Breathe in. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you can take the magnets off. Okay, and then there's also frustration. And it's your grandma's frustration. So
Grandma's frustration.
with Shirley.
Imagine that.
And I mean,
Is that gallbladder or liver?
it's liver.
Okay.
And then let's see, your grandma's frustration with Shirley because I think it's kind of a similar thing. Like she feels like something's unfair.
That makes sense.
Okay. It's just like everybody just feels like nothing's fair, and until someone else gives in, then I will be happy, or then I will give my part once I get my part.
Yep.
Okay.
What was that last part? And when I get my part,
I will give my part once I get my part, but everybody's just holding out on everybody.
Okay,
Because
but so with me, honestly, and Mom, you can say whether this is true or not. I tried to like make it so that I take on the responsibility for the other people's part.
Oh, okay.
Well, she got that from me.
To like compensate for it feeling.
Okay, we're gonna work it in. All
okay.
Right.
But now I'm trying to stop doing that through the situation with Tad. I'm trying to do God wants me to know. I know He wants me to know that He's in control, and just because it doesn't look fair doesn't mean it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Just because it doesn't look fair to me doesn't mean it's not fair.
Right. And it's not like in my power to actually be able to compensate and say what is and isn't. I get that, but I still just feel like crap.
Yeah.
Well, Paige, I think you're dealing with a generational issue too.
Yeah.
So if that helps you at all, I'm sure that this came through my mom.
Yep. Just because it doesn't look fair to me doesn't mean it's not fair. Yeah. Okay. And working through that. Okay. Yeah, I can see. Yes, I can see that. Well, and you saying like I'm trying to fix it makes sense too, because it's like I'm coming into this world and I will be the one who fixes this unfairness somehow between my mom and my grandma and my mom and my grandma and her mom, like, you know. And it's and maybe that's a thing that also happens with each generation, where it's like I will finally make it just. And it's like, no, that's not your job. That was never your job to make something just. Like,
right. It's like a lie that got told to me, but not by a person.
But yeah, more like energetically. So, all right. So it's going to be red on your liver and red on your forehead. And it's your grandma's frustration because she believes Shirley's being unfair somehow.
Okay.
Right.
So.
And breathe in. Yeah, so green or red. So, and breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Okay. And that's it on emotion. So we're going to do forgiveness statements.
say?
So wait. Okay, I had to check for trauma. So P2 trauma, which basically means you kind of dissociate a little bit. And I think, like you said, you're trying not to. You're trying to pay more attention to your reactions. And I think unfairness kind of brings up this, I have to fix it, or I have to do something, or I'm really angry and I can't seem to control my emotions. So you kind of go into an automatic script when something is not fair. So we're going to try to break that. And I don't know if Shirley knows if there's any trauma. I don't know what your pregnancy was like, or if it was easy, or if you were sick, or if anything happened.
We kind of forced her out because she was a month overdue.
Oh,
it was almost like she was like, I don't want to come out there.
Don't let me come out of here. So
It's too much. Don't make me start.
So there's a few ways you can position yourself while we do statements. You can tap the top of your head, both sides of your head. You can hold your fear release points, which are right below your collarbone. That's another place you can go. You can switch between them as well if you're like bored. I like tapping the top.
I'm gonna let Mom do them to me.
Yeah, you can do. That's it. Yeah, do some tapping.
Did you say P2?
Yeah, P2.
I'm gonna put the magnets on each side of her head then.
Okay, that'll do. That will do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
All right. Okay.
Are you comfortable?
Well, and one of the things I love about forgiveness is essentially you're saying something is unfair, or like there's always a gap in justice. Like you can never perfectly fairly like hurt one for one, because there's always going to be something that's a little bit different, and therefore there's going to be some sort of gap where either like if you do something like if like like you have to let go of some of that fairness sometimes, because you can't ever get it perfect. Like you just can't. It's not possible. And forgiveness is where you let go of that perfect justice, that perfect consequence, that perfect I deserve this or I deserve that, and you just say, you know what, I can be happy without it, and I don't need that person to do anything for me. Or anyway, so let's do this. Okay, and I assume you're in the position.
Assume the position, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on to my mom and my grandma's anger and frustration.
I have to hold on to my mom and my grandma's anger and frustration.
Because nothing is fair.
Because nothing is fair.
Yeah, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on to my mom's anger.
I have to hold on to my mom's anger.
With my grandma when I'm in utero.
With my grandma when I was in utero.
So that I can make it right.
So that I can make it right.
Yeah, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
It's a daughter's responsibility.
It's a daughter's responsibility.
To make things right and just.
To make things right and just.
For their children.
For their children.
Yeah, and breathe. I forgive my mom.
I forgive my mom.
For being angry with my grandma.
For being angry with my grandma.
When she was unfair.
When she was unfair.
And unjust.
And unjust.
Breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing.
Every time something isn't fair,
Every time something isn't fair,
I have to be reminded
I have to be reminded
of my mother and grandmother's feud
of my mother and grandmother's feud
over things not being fair.
over things not being fair.
Yeah, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing.
If my mom and grandma can't fix this,
If my mom and grandma cannot fix this,
then it's my job to make it right.
then it's my job to make it right.
And breathe.
Mhm.
By suffering consequences.
By suffering consequences.
Yeah, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
that this unfairness that I feel
that this unfairness that I feel
will always be this way in my life.
will always be this way in my life.
And breathe.
That's definitely true. It does feel like that.
I forgive my mom
Forgive my mom
for believing
for believing
that justice will never be served
that justice will never be served
and it will always feel unfair
and it will always feel unfair
with her mom.
with her mom.
Breathe.
With everybody and with everything sometimes.
Yeah. I forgive myself for believing
I forgive myself for believing
if I can't make it fair,
if I can't make it fair,
then it's my fault
then it's my fault.
when others get angry or frustrated.
Others get angry or frustrated.
Breathe.
And that it would be better off, they'd be better off without me around, actually.
Okay. Okay, I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing
I need unfairness
I need unfairness
to be here.
to be here.
And breathe.
And I hate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
That's what we're working on. Okay. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing
If I let go of making things fair,
forgive myself for believing that if I let go of believing making things fair
or just,
or unjust, huh?
yeah, or more just, if I
Or
believe,
just. Or just.
I'm like, where was I going with that? Then I won't know who I am.
Then I won't know who I am.
Yeah, I'm breathing.
That's what I already feel like, that I don't know who I am because of all of it.
Can I pop one in?
Sure.
I forgive myself for believing
Forgive myself for believing
that if I wasn't around,
that if I wasn't around,
that things would be just.
that things would be just.
I forgive. I want to also do, like, I forgive my mom for believing
I forgive my mom for believing
that if she wasn't around,
for believing that when I was in utero,
if she was, maybe it would be better. She would have this.
that things would become just. The expectation.
Yeah.
Forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing the expectation
when I was in utero.
That
I was the one who could
that
set everything
I was
right.
the one that could set everything right.
Mm-hmm. How about I forgive myself?
Forgive my mom.
Oh, go ahead.
I forgive my mom for believing that, and I forgive myself for believing it also. I forgive myself for believing that nobody would love me if I didn't.
Oh, that's a good one.
I forgive my. Go ahead. Yeah, you.
That's fine. What's kind of fun about the live is you can do a little teamwork. Let's see here. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for every time
I forgive myself for every time
I hurt someone's feelings.
I've hurt someone's feelings.
When I get angry
And I get angry
because of some injustice.
because of some injustice.
Yeah, I'm brave. Wow. Okay. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing
My mom and my grandma's anger needs to change.
my mom and my grandma's anger needs changed.
And they just need to love me the way I am
They just need to love me the way I am
before I can let this go.
before I can let this go.
I forgive myself for believing
Forgive myself for believing
that, that Tad or anyone has to change.
that Tad or anyone
Has to change
has to change
before I let go
before I let go
of anger about unfairness.
of anger about unfairness.
Yeah, I'm brave.
Do that one for me again. I
Sure.
forgive
I forgive, Tad or anyone.
others.
Yeah, I forgive others. Yeah, or anyone. Oh, I have it on there. I'm like, luckily my mom is typing it. I forgive myself for believing that Tad or anyone has to change before I can let go of anger and frustration.
Yes. Forgive myself for believing that they have to be the ones that change before I can let it go.
Yeah, I'm brave. I forgive myself for believing
Forgive myself for believing
that Tad or anyone has to change
that Tad or anyone has to change
before I can feel
love,
forgiveness, and happiness.
love, forgiveness, happiness, and
Peace.
recognize Christ's justice.
Yeah, and recognize, like you said, just because it doesn't look fair doesn't mean it's not fair, or it won't be fair.
Because just like there's so many horrible things in life that are allowed to happen, doesn't mean that justice isn't there. It just means that that's the way it has to go to come out the way the outcome has to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Forgive myself. I got one for you. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing
that timing has to be
the timing
the way I think it should look.
That's a good one.
How I see it needs to be, how I think it should look.
Because
God's timing is perfect,
and I can rest in that.
And I can rest in that. I stopped doing that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
This feels nice. I give myself permission.
I give myself some permission
to let go of this anger and frustration.
To let go of this anger and frustration.
To let go of this generational anger and frustration.
To let go of this generational anger and frustration.
With withholding love.
Withholding love.
For myself or anyone else.
For myself or anyone else.
When things aren't fair.
When things aren't fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think maybe some of that, beating yourself up is like, well, somebody's got to take this consequence. I forgive myself for believing.
Forgive myself for believing
that I have to be the one to take the consequence.
that I have to be the one to take the consequence,
to make things fair.
make things fair.
Yeah.
It's almost like a penance thing, I guess. It
Yep.
makes me think of
A
it
little
just
bit.
saying that, as if like penance does anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like penance for someone else. It's not even for yourself.
Right.
Um, okay. I give my. Let's see. How about I give my
I
grand?
forgive myself.
Sorry.
I got one more. I forgive myself for believing that withholding love to others would make it better for them and hurt me less. 'Cause
Mm.
I don't think it does that either direction. In fact, I think it hurts them more and it hurts me more.
hmm How about I love and accept myself
I love and accept myself,
even when I'm afraid.
even when I'm afraid.
Um, my success
My success
or healing
or healing
or letting go of unfairness
or letting go of unfairness
means it will be unfair for someone else.
means that it would be unfair for someone else.
Yeah, I'm I forgive myself for believing
Forgive myself for believing
uh, that I want to say that forgive myself for believing when things are unfair for me,
when things are unfair for me.
that means I'm never making it unfair for anyone else.
That means I'm never making it unfair for anyone else.
Yeah, and breathe.
Right.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
Things will work out in my favor
Things will work out in my favor
and it'll be unfair.
and it'll be unfair.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
Letting go of making things fair
Letting go of making things fair
wouldn't be good.
wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I'm breathe. I love and
Forgive
accept
myself for believing that if I don't care, no one else will.
Oh, that's good. I give myself permission. Go ahead.
Hang on a second. Yeah, hang on a second. She's processing that one.
Forgive myself for believing that if I don't care, no one else will. Because I do believe that I don't think that anybody else will care. Forgive myself for believing that if I don't care, no one else will.
Mhm.
Okay.
I give myself permission to accept.
Give myself permission to accept.
I can feel love, forgiveness, and happiness
Give the love, forgiveness, and happiness
in God's justice,
in God's justice,
which is far beyond my comprehension
which is far beyond my comprehension,
or anyone's comprehension.
far greater than my or anyone's comprehension.
Yeah. Without this pattern, I am free
Without this pattern, I am free
to feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
to love, forgiveness, happiness, and not be anxious.
Yeah, I want to say letting go of making things fair.
Letting go of making things fair.
Because I know.
Because I know.
And I can trust.
And I can trust.
If it's not me, it will be someone else.
If it's not me, God will use someone else.
Yeah, God will use someone else, or God will do it in God's time.
And God will do it in His time, in His way.
Yeah.
Even if I see the injustice, I forgive myself for seeing injustices that I think that I have to take care of. I give myself permission to see injustice and not claim it for myself. I give myself permission to recognize, see injustice and not claim it for myself.
Wait for God to
To recognize God's.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I get what I mean without it being.
Here we go. Without this pattern, I can show up for injustice.
Show up for injustice without
Feeling like it's impossible.
without feeling what?
Like it's impossible, or like
it's impossible, or it's my responsibility, or it's my responsibility, or that it's always unfulfilled. Because
okay.
Breaking the pattern.
I give myself permission.
Oh, it's not mine.
How about I give myself permission?
I give myself permission
to let go of the past or future.
Let go of the past or future
that never existed. Where I fixed this injustice.
Where I fixed this injustice.
Let's say this generational injustice.
This generational injustice. Yeah.
And I could, the other thing is I have to see that it's fixed, because like I could say maybe I did, but how would I know? What's the proof, right?
Right. Exactly.
So without this pattern, I'm free to let go of needing to fix this.
Let go of needing what?
To see how I have fixed the injustice.
Okay. To see proof.
Yeah, to see proof. And to again just trust God and know that God is always working.
Right. Trust God. Always know that you are working, God.
Yeah. All right. Whew, how are we feeling?
Pretty good.
I have one.
Sure.
I got one.
We're tag teaming.
I know. So I give myself permission. To tear down the idol of suffering in my life.
Tear down the idol of suffering in my life.
And the idol of suffering in my family system.
The idol
of suffering
in my family system.
Yeah. And I'm no longer separated.
I am no longer separated
from the eternal gift of God's grace.
The eternal gift of God's grace.
For my family.
My family.
For my future family.
My future family.
My past family.
My past family.
And it's no longer about justice.
Yeah.
No longer about justice.
Yeah,
and
here we go.
I acknowledge mercy triumphs over justice.
Mercy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say
mercy triumphs over justice.
Mercy triumphs over justice. Injustice. Yeah, injustice. Yeah. I said it right in my brain.
It also is mercy triumphs over justice. Period.
Which is what you're trying. Right. You're trying to get justice to remove the injustice instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to go for mercy because it feels way better.
Yeah, it's I was gonna say, yeah, without this pattern, I am free.
Right. Mercy.
Without this pattern, I am free to accept God's mercy.
I'm free to accept God's mercy
and grace.
And grace.
And give it.
And give it.
And those are not fair things.
No, because they're he gives them to us like, yeah, just like
doesn't always feel fair.
No, I mean, just if we're judging what someone else has compared to us, does it maybe not seem fair? But I think the mercies and, well, maybe that's what I need to realize is I do think God is being unfair too. That I'm not trusting him like I tell myself that I am. That's what it is.
My mom's got one that says, I am free
I'm free.
to share the greatest gift I have been given,
The greatest gift that I have been given,
which is mercy and grace from
which
God.
is mercy and grace from God.
Yeah. Which, not fairness, because it's not fair. Like
Right.
you just said. We took a long time to get there, but we're getting there.
I
Right.
want to say another one. I forgive the generations before me
Forgive my generations before me
and myself and future generations
and myself and future generations
for all pagan beliefs
for all pagan beliefs
where some form of human suffering, loss of
or
love,
suffering or loss of love
or
is like
pain.
a payment.
Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like payment to earn.
That can earn God's love, that can earn
God's
grace,
love,
and that can invoke him to fix the injustice I think needs fixed.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it invokes him, or even like in patterns with people.
Right. So the pagan idea that's kind of in the family system is our suffering has to keep occurring, suffering at every level, physical suffering where you got cancer, and suffering in marriages, suffering in relationships, suffering in addictions. Suffering occurs in our family just so we have a card, a victim card to take to God and say, God, fix this injustice. And I want to give up. So I'm going to renounce this pagan theology.
I renounce this pagan theology
Where human suffering,
be godly, even we
mask
ourselves.
Right, where human suffering is used as a manipulation to get what we want from God.
To get what we want for God.
Or doing the right thing to get what we want from God, or earning God. Yep.
I ask God to forgive me.
I ask God to forgive me.
And all in our family who have lived under this.
Who have lived under this.
This
break the pattern for my children.
Right.
And for their children and our children's children for all generations.
And I ask God to fill me with the grace and mercy.
To fill me with the grace and mercy.
That only comes from God's suffering.
That only comes from God's suffering.
And he did that before I was ever born.
He did that before I was ever born or any of my family was born.
Right. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is good. All right, because I actually do need to go. But this was it was worth sitting through that, all that technical difficulty. I'm so happy. Okay.
I am too.
I wish I could go
all that amazing stuff. I just want to say that one of the main things that like cracked for me is I have to stop withholding my love from my husband and my stepdaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And stop because I'm afraid of it. So I mean so just wanted to say that to you.
Well, thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you.
I
love you.
I tested, your distress went down to like a 1 and your stage of healing went to a 7. So like I said, worth the technical difficulties.
Yes, there were. I think Satan does that stuff sometimes just to try to get us to give up.
So we persevered.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I guess Mom